It's my pleasure to introduce a true legend in San Diego County, and especially here in South County, Supervisor Greg Cox. Greg began his career in public service as a teacher in the Sweetwater Union High School District. He then served as councilman and two-term mayor of Chula Vista. The governor leaned upon his rich experience and tapped him to serve as director of local government for the Office of Planning and Research. As county supervisor for the past 25 years, Greg has been a champion for our communities and businesses. His passion for children, the elderly, and adoptive families has led to the implementation of innovative programming, delivering access to affordable healthcare, workforce training, and great jobs. His commitment to quality of life has been seen in projects ranging from the Bayshore Bikeway to the coming Bayfront project. Now, as chairman of the San Diego County Board of Supervisors, Greg has helped lead the way for getting much needed funds and resources to businesses as we navigate through our state of emergency. Without further ado, it is our pleasure to present San Diego County Supervisor Greg Cox.
Well, thank you, Jim, for that very generous introduction, and many thanks to the South County EDC staff for all the work they've done over the years, and certainly culminating in this 30th annual Economic Summit. You know, over the last 30 years, I think I've only missed one of the economic summits, and I was certainly there for the first one when I had the honor of serving as your first executive director of the South County EDC, although I have to tell you, it was for only about 3 or 4 months, I think, before I went up to Sacramento on the governor's staff. It's amazing that we're here celebrating this 30th anniversary of this summit. That doesn't happen without a lot of hard work on the part of a lot of people, and certainly that includes Cindy Gomper-Graves and now Jim, and again, all the staff and all the board members that have made this organization what it is today. It doesn't happen also without the support of each and every one of you as members. You're all vital to this organization and the success that it's had over the years. The business owners, the entrepreneurs, the hardworking members of the very vital industries that we have in South County, and the nonprofits. So thank you to all of you for the work that you've done over these last 30 years. This year, of course, is a little different than most years that we've had this celebration. Obviously, it's the first time we've gone virtual, and it's gratifying to see that the attendance that has grown year in and year out, I think, is continuing with this virtual summit this year. For 30 years, South County EDC has led this influential platform that enables our region to tune in to a fine line of speakers, each leaders in their own field of expertise, who provide insight into where we are and, frankly, what we can look forward to. That's something that we all need to do right now in this year of the pandemic. And we can't continue without acknowledging the resiliences of our businesses, especially those in the health field, including our hospitals and community clinics. They've just done an outstanding job as we've gone through this pandemic over the last 7 or 8 months. And I just want to thank them also for keeping San Diego going and for helping us weather this storm. We are going to get through it, but obviously we still have a few more months to deal with this. As you probably all know, San Diego is in the red tier, which is the second tier for being in the worst situation. It was kind of touch and go for a couple of weeks whether we were going to be able to remain in that tier. That's not our goal to stay there, but it certainly has allowed businesses to operate with restrictions to a greater extent than if we had gone into the purple tier or tier 1. But we got to be realistic. We have to realize that we could fall back if positive cases continue to increase, and if we don't continue to do our robust testing that we have been doing. So it's up to each and every one of us ourselves and to encourage our friends and our business clients to wear those masks, to keep the social distancing, to wash their hands, do all the things that we need to do individually to make sure that we can contain this virus until we get a vaccine or other medications that would minimize the impact of it. In order to stay in the red tier, we we need to do a couple of things that we can do here at the county. And I can tell you, we have accelerated our testing. That's the one thing that we can do where we get bonus points, if you will, with the state of California is doing more and more testing. And right now, I think as we stand here, we have about 41 different testing sites throughout the San Diego County region. And we're very pleased to announce that we're opening up new testing sites for teachers and school personnel in San Diego, Chula Vista, Del Mar, and El Cajon. In fact, this coming Monday, I'm going to be joining Mayor Salas to open up our newest testing site in Chula Vista, which will be operated in partnership with the city of Chula Vista. And I want to thank the city of Chula Vista for their cooperation in working with us to allow us to do that. But despite our best efforts, we know that the pandemic has created economic loss for our small businesses. Some have closed and most are certainly struggling as we try to deal with this situation. That's why the Board of Supervisors earlier this month approved over $20 million for our small business stimulus grant program. This resulted in 2,827 grant awards in the entire county. In the South County, in my district, I was very pleased to recommend grants to over 550 businesses totaling $4.1 million. Now, some of these grants, I have to acknowledge, are pretty small, but they will make a big difference for a lot of these mom and pop operations and stores. Every business had a different set of challenges, but they all equally are important to the economic life of our region. And it's my hope that these grants help in this hour of need to allow them to sustain themselves and to stay in business until we get past this pandemic. As we approach the end of this very difficult year, I want to share my gratitude to the citizens of South County for the opportunity I've had to represent you on the City Council in Chula Vista, as Mayor of Chula Vista for 9 years, and now be completing almost 26 years on the Board of Supervisors in January. That's a little over 40 years of public service to the citizens of this county in this region. And it would not have been possible without the support of a lot of you that are tuned into this and participating in this summit. From my first days on the City Council in Chula Vista to my time on the Board of Supervisors, it's been my distinct pleasure to focus on not only making sure that South County is a good place for businesses, but it's a good place for people to live and to recreate and to enjoy life. Some of the developments we've seen in Chula Vista and other parts of the region, I think, have set new standards for quality housing, with making sure that we have the physical amenities that make life in a community extra special, including major efforts to expand facilities in the Tijuana River Valley, the Otay Valley Regional Park, and the Sweetwater Regional Park. And I guess if I've had a passion over the years, in addition to focusing on public health issues and social service issues, I've had a focus on making sure that we have additional trails, bike paths, community parks, and improved libraries. I'm very proud to say that in the 3 libraries that I have, county-operated libraries in my district, all 3 of them are relatively brand new, all built within the last 10 to 15 years. And they're all doing exceptionally well. One of my passions over the years has been to complete the Bayshore Bikeway. And while it's not complete, I was hoping to get it done before I got out of here. It's important to let you know that we are working on the final phases of it. Over 2/3 of it is completed now. The other 1/3 is in design. And the important thing is that we basically have the funding to complete most of those remaining sections, and they should be done within the next couple of years. And some of them actually will start construction next year. All of this has happened in cooperation and collaboration with our chambers of commerces in South County EDC. And I have to tell you, South County EDC has led the way in so many different important issues to this region. If it wasn't for South County EDC, I don't think we'd have the cross-border terminal. And certainly the collaboration that South County EDC has provided to the city of Chula Vista with the Bayfront project has been important. For Coronado, for Imperial Beach, for National City, South San Diego, South County EDC has been there time and time again to make sure that those communities have gotten the type of amenities and improvements that they need. I I have to tell you, we've done a lot over the last few years, but there's a lot left to be done. The Chula Vista Bayfront, I think, is going to be transformational for not only Chula Vista, but for the entire South County regions. And when I look at the improvements that have been going on in National City and Coronado and Imperial Beach, I can't tell you how proud I am to see the work that has gone on by the elected officials in those communities. They've done a tremendous job and have truly made a difference. So thank you for your support over the years. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of a great team of people in the South County region. And I hope you get the most out of today's summit. I know they've got some great speakers, and I look forward to the opportunity to listen into those speakers along with you. Thank you very, very much.
And thank you, Supervisor Cox. We do have a couple of questions that have come in, if you're willing to address these.
Absolutely.
Great. So the first question is, how can businesses work with the county to access services and resources through this trying time?
Well, we just went through our business stimulus grant program. And as I said, we've given out over 550 grants totaling 4.1 million. We do hope that there's going to be a subsequent stimulus act at the federal government. It's up to the House and the Senate to get together and make a decision on what that package is going to be, and obviously getting it signed by the president. But if that's successful, I would imagine that we would have another round of business stimulus grants. We provided assistance to daycare operators because, frankly, one of the things that's going to allow people to go back to a more normal sense of routine is making sure that their kids are back in school and making sure that if they're not able to physically go back to school, that they have adequate childcare. So both of those issues are things that we're currently working on to try to make sure that we have a complete package, because all of those things are extremely important in order to get back to a sense of normalcy in this region.
Thank you, Supervisor Cox. We have another question. And that is, with the tremendous fiscal management you and the other supervisors have displayed throughout the years, we were positioned to help throughout this. Where do you see the county fiscally in the years to come? And you probably addressed some of that just a little bit ago, but thank you.
Well, great question. And we've been fortunate. We've been able to, over the years, have a board of supervisors that have realized that, like businesses, if you don't have a solid foundation, financial foundation, you're always going to be subject to those vagaries or disasters that may come along. And we've survived the fires in 2003, the fires in 2007. This pandemic we're surviving, although we are dipping into our reserves, as we should. That's why we have those reserves. The county is still well balanced in regards to its financial stability. We have still our excuse me, our AAA bond rating, which we're proud of, but that's not as important as being in a position to respond to emergencies such as COVID-19. So I think the foundation that we've set is there. My hope is that supervisors in the future will realize that, yeah, you need to reach out and to respond to the community, but you also need to have a firm financial base. And that's something that I think over the years, the county has developed a reputation for being not only well-managed, but certainly being in a position that has allowed us to do a lot of the capital expenditures that we've done. I mean, the libraries that we built with cash. So we were saving money over the long haul. In fact, I think there was an estimate that was done a couple of years ago that over the next 20 years, we will save the citizens of this county over $1 billion in interest that they would have paid if we debt financed those facilities.
Thank you, Supervisor Cox. And it looks like that's all for the questions that came through.
Well, again, I thank you very much for the opportunity to be with you, and I look forward to the rest of today's summit. Thank you.
Internet usage has gone up, way up, because the things we used to do in person we're now doing over the internet. Like this, and this. Hey, nice trick. Seriously, how do you do that? So we just want to thank our Cox techs for their hard work doing all of this, and this, so we can keep doing all of this.